Yes, my little puppets, do these meaningless tasks for my amusement. Mindlessly climb over that wall and fall to your death, following one another off the edge. Kinda like lemmings.
Artistunknown, doing those game reviews, so you don't have to.
Lemmings is an interesting game. I'm not entirely sure what genre it would be, other than maybe puzzle and strategy. Well, Wikipedia says it's a puzzle platformer, and I don't know, I don't really agree with that. Like, how is it a platformer exactly? Sure, you guide the lemmings over platforms and gaps and stuff, but you don't directly control them. Is that enough to count as a platformer? Whatever, it doesn't matter. Lemmings is pretty cool, and fun. Even though I had a Super Nintendo growing up, I didn't get to play it until many years later when my brother introduced us to the world of emulation and gave us a CD with a ton of retro games on it. It was pretty much a godsend. Since I'm now an adult, I've obviously gone and purchased this game along with an appropriate console to play it on. I would never do anything as terrible as emulating this game that isn't really easily acquired in any other way. Yep, totally. So, like a lot of retro games, Lemmings doesn't really have a story or any sort of proper start or finish. I mean, there's a story and an end, but it's essentially just a bunch of random levels with different puzzles, and whether they have any sort of cohesive flow is up for debate. But it doesn't look like there's any sort of natural progression in anything other than the difficulty. So Lemmings starts out with this cute little cutscene of the lemmings crawling out of a hole and then walking onto a bridge, following one another like lemmings. Wait. Anyways, then this one gets the bright idea to pull this lever and oops, the bridge collapses and all his friends are seemingly dead. No worries though, they just grabbed onto the logo while falling, so it's cool. Now, before we move on, I just want to say, I wish the rest of the game's graphics were like this, though a little more zoomed out, instead of the lemmings being made up of just a couple pixels. And I'm not sure if that makes it less cute or more cute. Again, it's up for debate. I guess the way it was handled in the end works best though. There's a ton of lemmings you have to keep track of, so being able to see most, if not all of them, at once is really helpful. And the rest of the game looking like this opening cutscene would make that kind of impossible. Okay, so now after that charming intro, we are greeted by this menu screen, with the options of 1-player, 2-player, and password. Wait, this game has 2-player? Did I ever try that? I can't even imagine how that would work. Oh, okay, so it's split-screen competitive play? That's interesting. It doesn't play through the single-player levels, though. These seem to be all new levels. Or at least this first one here. I don't know. Well, as much as I'd like to beat a non-existent second player, this is kind of pointless alone, so yeah. Now let's go back to the elephant in the room. Or, well, it's not much of an elephant in the room, I guess, because it's not that big of a deal, but as you can see, that third option there is password. And yes, that's where you enter passwords that go to certain levels. Yes, this Super Nintendo game does not have a save system, and instead uses the archaic method of using passwords. On the bright side, the passwords aren't insanely long at least. I'm honestly not sure what would be better to have here, passwords or saves. Password system does work, because this game is kinda like an arcade game, though, but was it ever an arcade game? I have no idea. There seems to be signs that there was maybe an arcade version planned, but it was cancelled? I don't know, whatever. So we select a 1-player game and our journey begins with level 1, entitled Just Dig. Or maybe that's not the level title and it's just a hint. We're also shown some other noteworthy information, like how many lemmings we'll have to guide through the level, how many we actually have to save, how fast they're released upon us, how long we have to complete the level, and a rating, which I have no idea what that's supposed to be. The first level's simple. All you do is dig. Knowing this beforehand, I had a great plan. As soon as the first lemming falls, I'd make him start digging, and by the time the next lemming falls, he's already in the hole and can't move. The rest of the lemmings would end up falling in the hole too, causing for minimal waiting time. I'm incompetent though, and messed it up. Still, there's no actual way to die in this level, so it's no big deal. Just gotta wait a little longer. Actually, can you die on this level? Well, let's just make this guy dig. Now make him dig on the bottom, and oh god, yep. They're digging to their deaths. Jeez. See, while you're supposed to save the lemmings, a lot of the fun of lemmings, though more so lemmings too, comes from seeing all the different ways that lemmings can die. And I think being able to make all your lemmings die in the very first level is pretty funny. Does that make me a sociopath? Probably. Alright, so going back a bit, before the level even starts, you're given a lot to look at. Though you're not really told what you're supposed to do, it should be pretty obvious. The Lemmings come out of this hatch. That thing there is the exit. Get from point A to point B. Easy. Well, no, it's not easy. At least, it's not easy after the first couple levels. That's because the first couple levels basically serve as tutorials, in the sense that all your Lemming types aren't available from the start. Like in this level, all you have is the digger, but clearly there's several more that you can't use. Other things you'll notice are the clock ticking down how much time you have left, the map, this weird thing with a number and a plus and minus, and then this thing that looks kinda like an explosion. The thing with the number is the rate at which the Lemmings spawn, I guess. You can't lower it past the level set rate, but you can raise it all the way to 99. And this is really useful when you've figured out the puzzle and have to wait for like 80 more Lemmings to catch up. You still have to wait for them to traverse the level, but at least they'll be grouped together, causing them to go into the exit one after another rapidly. Going back to that final thing, yes, that is an explosion. It's basically the retry button. Clicking it is supposed to blow up all your Lemmings. I say supposed to because you actually have to click on it twice. I'll show an example of how this is kind of a problem later on when we get to the level where I actually needed to use it first. Okay, so moving on, I passed the level with flying colors, and the game is gonna tell me, yes game, I know, I am great. And now the next level starts and... Really? This is even easier than the last. Looks like we don't have to do anything. The Lemmings will just fall off the edge there and keep walking to the exit. Ha! I have bested you, game! Oh. Oh god! Oh no, no! Oh! Okay, so obviously what you have to do here is turn the Lemmings into floaters, as evidenced by that being the only Lemming type available. Plus the level hint was pretty blatant. See, all the Lemmings landed safely. Wasn't that easy? No need for mass genocide. I suppose this is also a good time to talk about the different types of Lemming abilities, or at least mention an important detail. Some abilities you can apply to a Lemming, and the Lemming won't actually use it until it needs to, like with the floaters here. They don't pull out the umbrella until they jump, or the climbers don't climb until there's something for them to climb up. Other abilities, though, are used as soon as you apply them to a Lemming. Diggers will start digging, bashers will start punching at the wall, builders will start building, and so on. The only odd one out is the bomber. Yes, it goes into effect as soon as it's applied, but they don't actually explode immediately, because there's a fuse, which lasts 5 seconds. After that, then they go boom. The next level looks kinda complicated at a glance, but once you really look at it, it's pretty standard. This level's to teach you about blockers. They block Lemmings from walking past them, which is good because Lemmings are idiots and like to jump off cliffs. Like the previous levels, this one's pretty simple. Just gotta place a few blockers in a few spots and boom, no one dies. Wait, these 5 Lemmings are still alive and the time is still ticking. I can't apply anything else to these guys to make them stop blocking. What do I do? Oh right, I'll just speed the time up, because that's a thing, right? No? Is that only in the second one? Bah. Well, wait, that thing there looks like an explosion. Does that blow up the remaining Lemmings? I'll just click it in. Nope, nothing happened. Great. Guess I have to wait for the time to run out. And now, the biggest problem with this game shows. A lot of the time is spent waiting. Yes, this kind of waiting is avoidable by double-clicking the explosion, but there's still a lot of waiting involved when the Lemmings are getting through the level, and the ability to speed things up would help so much. Thankfully, the sequel added this. Anyways, to keep myself entertained while waiting, I started playing music by clicking on the different Lemming abilities, because they each give off a different tone when clicked. I think I'm going insane. The next level is about miners and climbers. It's pretty straightforward. Just get someone to mine and then make everyone climb. They hump the wall, jump through the hole, and boom, done. The next level involves bashers. They punch things. The level starts off pretty straightforward. Punch the column, punch the cave wall, done. Then you've got this great thing. This is annoying. If you don't punch it in the right spot, they'll only punch it a little bit and then stop. I ended up having to get the Lemmings all the way to the end and then have one punch the grid at the bottom to get them into the exit. And this was by pure luck too. As annoying as the grid is though, the Lemmings can walk through it if there's a hole, so that's kinda cool. Alright, the next level starts and oh dear, this is certainly different. So in this level you were given blockers and bombers. I don't know why you're given blockers, cause I only ended up using bombers. I only would have ended up using 2 bombers, but I am not very good at timing and, well, yeah. Well, I'm out of bombers now, I guess I'll have to retry. Huh, so it does work. I guess you just have to double click it? I mean, it makes sense, I guess. Wouldn't want to accidentally blow up all my Lemmings, of course. At least we get to see the fireworks. Alright, let's try that again. Alright. Crap. Crap! Oops. Oh boy. I'm so sorry. After f***ing up the timing a million times, I finally managed to get the Lemmings through the level. I am the greatest. It only took 3 tries. In the final tutorial level, we are introduced to builders. This is pretty simple. Just build stairs to get over the walls. I am incompetent though and managed to mess it up slightly. The biggest obstacle in this level is this hole here, and if you're not fast enough to build over it in time, a decent number of lemmings will fall into it. I managed to get them all out though by building the most beautiful staircase ever. We only needed to save 50% of the lemmings on this level, so I'm pretty sure I could have gotten away with killing all the lemmings that fell into the hole. But I'm a nice person, so I let them live. Finally, our first level where we have access to everything. The hint is not as complicated as it looks, and I don't see why that's the hint. It doesn't look complicated at all. The exit's right next to the spawn. You just place down a blocker and boom, everyone walks into the exit. Except for the blocker, of course, so let's just take care of that. After this point, the levels start to get increasingly harder or begin requiring more thought. Well, most of them anyways. This level I had no idea what I was supposed to do. It seemed like there was barely anything I could do to get all my lemmings over this stupid thing with the arrows on it. After some trial and error though, I figured out that you can destroy this material, but only when going in the direction the arrows are pointed. So I made a sickle climber so he could climb up the wall. Then I made him a floater so he could fall safely. Then I made him a blocker so he wouldn't walk into the exit. Then I did the same stuff with a second lemming, except when he walked away from the blocker, I made him a basher, and had him destroy the wall, which worked, and the other lemmings were able to walk through. This is a good level. It requires a good bit of thought. Pretty well designed. A lot of these levels are pretty well designed. I'm pretty incompetent though, as already established, and I managed to mess things up pretty badly at points. These are some really well crafted puzzles though. Well, most of them. A lot of the time my solution just came down to building stairs over stuff and hoping it worked. And it did, so maybe that was the actual solution, I don't know. This level is fun. The hint is don't let your eyes deceive you, so obviously we should expect the unexpected, right? So I saw these columns and started bashing away at them, and then came to this pit. There's no way over this. I certainly can't build over it with a single builder, right? So maybe this is what's supposed to deceive me. This isn't actually a bottomless pit. There's obviously a floor just off screen that I can't see. Go, my lemmings, walk to safety! Oh. Whoops. Okay, so it turns out you actually can build over the gap. The builder only builds so much, so right when he runs out of the material, you have to make him a builder again. It's pretty cool that that works. So what I did was have a single builder build over the gap, and have a blocker block the others so they couldn't go until he was finished. And then we came to another roadblock. This thing. I guess this is what's supposed to deceive you. It looks pretty harmless, right? Wrong. It's a trap. A lemming touches it and boom, they're dead. They get caught and I don't know what happens to them, honestly. Anyways, you're supposed to build over this gap in the stairs here. Duh. So let's just retry and do the same thing as before, build over the second gap before getting rid of the blocker, and there, level complete. How satisfying. Okay, next level. Oh, this looks friendly. Well, that's pretty straightforward. We just gotta get over this lake of lava and paradise is ours. So, same strategy as last time. Make a builder, make a blocker, blah blah, done. Alright, paradise is supposed to be next. What does that look like? Alright, well, I wouldn't necessarily call this paradise, but it does look rather simple. These guys on the left have it easy. They just have to fall down and walk down this hallway. I'll leave them to it and focus on these guys on the right. I'll just have one of them punch the wall here. Yeah. Wait. No, that might be too high of a fall for them. Well, alright, I'll just mine through this bit here and... that's not working. What was that? Oh god, what's going on? What do I do? Punch it or something! Yeah, of course it didn't work. Why did I think that would work? Well, I don't know what to do with this right now, and it sounds like the other lemmings are falling to their deaths, so I'll just place a blocker here for now and go check up on the others. Oh god, I'll just make them floaters, I guess. I can save some of them at least. Alright, now what to do about these idiots? Just dig, I guess. Okay, I can't dig any further, so I guess I gotta blow one of them up and make a hole and... Oh, it didn't work. Well, I'm out of ideas, so let's just go mess around with that first group again. Alright, let's just blow this guy up here. Maybe I can build over the spot where that smashing thing triggers, and crap, I made a hole. Great. They're all dead. F it, I might as well just kill the rest of them now. There's no going back, guys, you're all f***ed. Alright, now that we have a fresh start, let's try this building strategy. Alright, this is going on too long, and it's not even funny anymore, so I'm just gonna spoil it. It didn't work. Nothing worked. This level sucks. Or maybe I suck. Yeah, it's gotta be it. There's gotta be a way to beat this. Wait, I know! The last couple level solutions have been based on building over gaps, so maybe that's the solution here too. There is that pillar with the ledge next to the exit. Maybe I just gotta build a staircase over to it, place some blockers, and dig down and... Oh, come on! They're digging all the way down to their death! Oh my god, you lemmings are so stupid! Well, clearly that's not the solution. Ah, of course, I'm an idiot. It's so simple. Notice how when I was trying to dig down, somehow one of the lemmings from the left made it to the exit? Obviously you can't save all the lemmings, but it seems like if all the lemmings are rushing the traps at once, only a few of them will get crushed. Yeah! I'll just make a few bashers so they can get out of these sections, clump them up like so, get rid of this blocker here, yeah! Let's watch them walk to freedom. Yeah, go to safety, my little lemmings. Ignore your fallen brethren, their sacrifice is necessary. Uh-oh, they're not as clumped up as I would have liked. Well, that shouldn't be a problem, right? Crap. Well, but I can't figure this out. I've spent half an hour on this level and I have no idea what to do. I think I've seen enough of this game to give a proper judgment though. I mean, I have played past this point and I can totally put in passwords to skip past this level, but yeah, final thoughts time. Lemmings is a fun game. There's a decent variety of abilities you can give to your lemmings. The level design and puzzles themselves, for the most part, are very good and require a bit of thought. There's a pretty good difficulty curve, but some later puzzles are either way too easy or way too hard. Visually, the game looks nice. Everything about the art is charming. The music is also nice too. From the sounds of it, it's all arrangements of classical music and it sounds pretty cool with the game's sound font. The only real downsides to the game are the lack of a save feature and no ability to speed up time, which is kinda needed when waiting for lemmings to get through the level. These don't detract from the game too much though, and overall it is still very enjoyable. But hey, where Lemmings fails, Lemmings 2 improves and then some. Unlike the first Lemmings, Lemmings 2 has more of a goal. It's not just a bunch of random levels. It also adds a ton of new lemming abilities. You don't have access to all of them at once, of course, but you can play around with them in the practice mode. These are all great and charming in their own way. Also, Lemmings 2 has a fast forward button, and this fan thing that I have no idea what it does, but it's there. There's even a save feature. Man, this just got everything right. The opening cutscene isn't as charming as the first one. It's more cinematic and story-driven, but hey, that's cool, it gives more of a purpose to it. The lemmings in the cutscene look kinda creepy though, compared to the cute ones from the first game. So yeah, that's pretty much it. The Lemmings games are fun. They're good, but not great. The second one improved a lot of stuff over the first, and as always, the best part of Lemmings is finding ways to kill them. Yes. Wait, what? Oh god, how is this happening? What do I do? Oh god!